Hey, y'all, it's Rochelle, and she's back with episode 3 of season two's House of the Dragon. Listen, these daggone dragons, these daggone dragons. Y'all, let's just go ahead and get into it. For a couple of quick points, let me peel them on out because I'm not going to go in order this time around because I pretty much got the gist of what's going on. And there was a whole lot of, but it wasn't as much as the episode 2. Okay, so let's go. Okay, first and foremost, Helena, baby, you better than me. You are so much better than me. That child said, listen here, I can't dwell on that. I'm choosing not to dwell on that. And I was like, why these commoners leaning on me? But in truth, you know what? Chances are they've lost more children than us royals have. So you know what? I'm just going to choose to go forth and go on, right? And then she looked at her mom and she was like, oh, I forgive you. I forgive you. I'm choosing not to hold a grudge. I'm choosing not to dwell on that. I was like, Helena, use a good Targaryen. Use my favorite because you make sense, boo. I like you, Helena. I like you. Number 2, something that I forgot to mention with episode 2 review, but they brought it up again here in episode 3. Viserys and Alicent, had a third son. His name is Darion, or whatever, and he's out living with the Hightowers and in Old Town. And I guess chances are we're going to see him pretty soon coming forth. I know that he was in the books, but they never really and truly mentioned him. No, not even, they never mentioned him last season. So they mentioned him twice so far this season. So chances are we'll get to see the youngest and the third Targaryen son. George R.R. Baby, where you get these names from? Gawain? Gawain. I guess they were trying to do a flip on Dwayne, or maybe do a flip on Gwendolyn? Gawain? I don't know. Like, I don't know, but Gawain. Gawain comes on into the picture. He is Otto Hightower's son and Alicent's brother, right? And he comes on and he's like, oh, Sir Crispin, or Crispin Chicks, or Sir Cole, whatever your name is, Crispy Chicks. Oh, so you done came up in the world. Oh, you don't go from being the a part of the King's Guard to you being over all of the guards to you now being the hand of the king and my father being replaced. Okay, well, all right. Well, I'm coming along with you, so we're gonna see what the deal is, right? What's the deal? Gawain should have gone into politics like his daddy. Period. Gawain, Gigi, Goo, you should have gone into politics like your daddy. Y'all, Aegon and Aemon in the whole house, and Aemon turning around and showing his little poke. HBO be HBOing. Like this is the first time it's been HBOing in quite some time, but wow. Wow. One more thing. My twins. Oh, Arik and Eric got buried together in their grave. I'm a little perturbed by that because it looks like all they did was pick them up and toss them in side by side. And Jace wasn't having it. Jace was like, man, why y'all put this man in his grave with his brother? One belonged to the Greens, one belonged to us. Like, and ours should be buried with honor. You know, this other one, I'm not feeling him. He came inside my mama house and tried to kill my mama. I don't want. We should just toss him into the sea. Like, why he here? Like, and then Rhaenyra, like, you know what? He kept his word as a king's guard. He was doing his job. technically he was just doing his job. We can't blame him for doing his job, basically. And he was like, whatever, okay. And then he walks away. But those are some of the high points right there. Let's go on in and get into the story, okay? So we open up with these two families, the Brackens and the Blackwoods. And the Brackens and the Blackwoods have been known to have some type of beef that started oh so long ago. And all of a sudden, one's claiming Rhaenyra to be the one true queen, and the other one is claiming Team Green with Aegon, right? And they ready for it. They like, you craven, you punk, you. I'm like, what had happened? What's the animosity? Then all of a sudden, you come up and they focusing on the boy and he dead, and they span out and all you see is bodies. That's all you see is just bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies. Like, what in the world, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Back in season 1, when Rhaenyra was holding court to find a husband, okay, and the young kid stepped up after the old man, the young kid stepped up to present himself, saying like, I could be a good husband and all that stuff. But there was a guy off to the side that was making fun of him. Was that a Bracken and Blackwood situation right there? Somebody comment down below in the comments. I think that could be they were going head to head even then. And that boy, he gutted him. He got one. So I just can't remember. I just can't remember the names. of the families right here off the top of my head. It just came to me like, wasn't that them? I think that was them, but I can't be too sure, okay? But we'll see, right? Okay. So we open up after that scene right there, and it goes straight to Rhaenyra and on Team Black, and they're burying our twins, R.I.P., right? Then you see then Auntie Niecy comes up and she's like, I can guarantee you Otto Hightower ain't had nothing to do with this. He didn't want this. He would have never had planned this out. This ain't Otto dealing with, okay? So I could tell you right now, something going on the other side to where he's lost control, because he never would have done this. And she was like, and she said something, and it hit me, because I think this is one of the things that was in the trailer getting ready for this season. She was like, there is no war to the gods worse than the war amongst kin, and no battle bloodier than a battle between dragons. She was like, at some point, we're going to forget, and people are going to forget. The men that want to plan this war, and they're just rushing head on in and hot and bothered just to start a war, they're going to forget why in the world it even started. They're going to forget. So we got to stay calm. We got to stay calm when we go forth with this, girl, because the advisors on both sides, on yours and on their sides, they're not keeping a calm head. When she said that, I was like, girl, whoo. But Rhaenyra was like, Alicent Hightower, her son sits my throne. And she was like, they know how it started. They started this. And she was like, was it started when Aemond killed Luke, or did it start when Luke took Aemond's eye? Like, you got to keep a calm head, but you got to remember, this started years ago. This wasn't something that just started just recently, but these actions just recently. You can't tell me that Otto was going to approve this, and you can't tell me that Alicent was going to approve this neither. Like, girl, you got to keep a calm head. Why don't you reach out to Alicent, and so y'all can have a conversation to see if y'all could just settle this down, because this don't have to get ugly. Child, she didn't want to hear that. Ray did not want to hear that. She was like, I'm not talking to that heifer. Her child sits my throne. She knew my daddy wanted me to sit on the throne, and now here it is. The situation is where the situation is, right? Okay, so let's go on over to the Greens Council meeting. We got Sir Christian Crispy. This is like his first official day as Hand of the King, and he's late to the meeting. He goes on in. Well, excuse me. He leaves out of his office or whatever it was, and he goes into the meeting and he sees some new knights around, and they just are lounging and sitting down and kikiing, and he's like, if y'all don't like, and they just looking at him like, who this fool? And until they realize like, oh, this hand, like we gotta act right, we gotta stand up. So they stand up all nonchalant with it. It is like, who hired y'all? So Crispin goes into the council meeting. He's late. He says, sorry for my tardiness, but he was like, I noticed that we got some new guards. Or whatever. And Aegon was like, yeah, I had to replace the ones that we lost. Reason number 874 on why Aegon should not be king. You replaced the knights that you lost. However, you replaced it with these shiftless, can't even doggone it stand up straight and realize that this person that's behind him, who is next to the king, could actually kill y'all because y'all all nonchalant with it. Y'all didn't even realize who the heck he is. When if anything, y'all should know who the heck Crispin Chicks is. Now, I will say this. I don't like Crispy. However, the boy bad at what he do. When he get to fighting and when it come to winning, he took down Daemon. And he be killing people left and right, unfortunately, with his hot temper. But you know what? You don't want to piss that man off. He'll smash in your head with his fist. R.I.P. Joffrey. But I digress. Anyway, so they're in the council meeting, and Aemon brings up that, the Blackwoods and the Brackens, they had it out, and they had a big battle or whatever, and basically the head of House Blackwood perished during the battle. And because, of course, I think the Blackwoods was Team Black with Rhaenyra, and the Brackens were Team Green with Aegon and them. But Blackwoods took a loss with them losing their head of house or whatever. And Aegon is like, okay, great. That's just a win for us, if anything. And they're like, hold up. Both sides took a heavy loss in this battle. It was more of a draw, if anything. Like, they started this battle on their own, and also they just have a long history of not liking each other. They don't like each other. This ain't really truly. This was just a side feud. The choosing between Team Black and Team Green. This was a side feud. It really didn't have anything to do with us necessarily. They just don't like each other. And I want to know, how in the world did the animosity start? What's the beef? What's the background with why y'all don't like each other? Hopefully that story will come up so I can find out what had happened was. I mean, I want to know. So then they're in the council meeting talking about like what they're going to do. They should go to Harrenhal because Harrenhal will be whoever wins the Riverlands. I think that's what they were talking about. And so that's why like Crispin Chick was like, we'll just take Harrenhal and whatever not. And he was like, and Allison is just over the whole entire thing. She was like, y'all are just going by the seat of y'all pants. You're not really thinking about what we really should do or whatever not, right? Excuse me. So Crispin was like, yeah, like that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Harrenhal, and whoever takes Harrenhal will be able to take the Riverlands, and that's just that, right? Okay, fine. Then all of a sudden Aegon's like, and I will join y'all with Sundancer. I think that's his dragon, Sundancer, or whatever him and his dragon is called. Sunrise and Sunfire. I don't know. His dragon. He's like, I'm gonna join y'all with my dragon. And everybody just get quiet. Everybody just gets quiet and they're like, dude, you are not needed. You are not needed. You don't know what to do. Like outside of you getting women pregnant and creating bastards, you don't know what you're doing. You are not needed. Stay here in King's Landing where it's safe. Like, you know, we gonna protect this dog on it. This realm. Like, we got this. So let's go on over to Harrenhal. I got questions about this one. I'm gonna need y'all help. So we go on over to Daemon going on over to Harrenhal. I say Harrenhal. Over to Harrenhal, right? And it's raining and everything. He steps on up inside there and he's looking around the corners and he dipping and dodging for a second because he ready to kill people if need be. And then he goes into it and everybody just sitting there like, oh, who you? Hey, how you doing? What's up? You want something to eat? Make him a plate. Like, they just like, oh, hey, how you doing? And he was like, I'm taking over Harrenhal. And he was like, and the older gentleman that was there, who I found out was, his name is Simon Strong. He's Lord Breakbones and his daddy. That's their family over there, right? And he's like, oh, like, okay, you can have Harrenhal. Like, they don't make me no nothing mine. Okay, like, you know, if you want Harrenhal, it's yours, you know? And then he goes down on bended knee in front of Daemon, and some chick comes out the side, like, and she's in shock, like, to see Daemon or whatever. And I'm like, why is she in shock to see Daemon? Like, y'all ain't heard that loud behind dragon? And everybody on bended knee or whatever. It's like, okay, fine. They bended the knee. So they're talking, and Daemon, he got a plate in front of him, and the man was like, you know, sorry, like, you know, all we got to do, we got a little cabbage and a little this and that and the other. We ain't got this, but, you know, and Daemon like, I would rather not be poisoned. And the man was like, didn't we just tell you you can have Harrenhal? And he was like, you telling me that you don't know, like, you know, your nephew is Sir Larys Strong. And he was like, I don't give a damn about no doggone Larys. He said, you don't think we found, you don't find it funny that his daddy and his oldest brother was killed in this damp place? There hasn't been a fire here in so long in this damp building, this old damp castle. And all of a sudden, the castle catch on fire. Really? The last time this castle caught on fire was one of your forefathers set it ablaze with a dragon. So what you talking about? We ain't got no, I don't give a damn about no doggone Larys. I was like, oh. So everybody know, even they know that Larys, Mr. Clubfoot, Mr. Freaky with the feet, they even know that he dirty. I was like, okay, well, at least it's known. At least it's known, right? Okay, fine. So Daemon, it shows later on that Daemon is inside his room and I guess the roof is leaking or whatever, and he's putting down bowls or whatever. And then all of a sudden, somebody trying to get into his room, but he has it barred with a sword. And all of a sudden, it's like it was shaking at the doggone door. It's like, oh, what in the world? Like, what is going on? And all of a sudden, it goes away. So he unbars it and he comes on out, and you see young Rhaenyra. You see young Rhaenyra. She has baby baby Jaehaerys in her arms, and she's basically stitching up his neck. And she was like, oh, always having to clean up behind you. I was like, say, what now, girl? Who was at the door trying to break it down? Who was at the door? Then then it shows him like waking up, or he's by the God's wood tree, the tree with the face in it that be bleeding blood. And then all of a sudden, the girl that peeked out back when they was kneeling on bended knee, she is standing there and she's like, "You're gonna die in this place." Who is she? Who's this? What am I missing? I'm missing something. I'm missing something, and I don't know just what I'm missing, but I'm missing something, and I want to know why I'm missing it. Because I'm like, is she like, okay, first and foremost, is Harrenhal haunted? Like, is I think Harrenhal is haunted because no, but that was a dream, so maybe it's not haunted. I don't know. And then, but who is this chick saying you gonna die here? Who is she? Who? I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to put the pieces together. Because right now, is you a witch? Is you a ghost? Was this a dream? Was it just all a dream? You used to be in Word Up magazine? Like, I don't know anymore. Y'all, I need to figure this out. Somebody drop down below and tell me what I'm missing. But only up to this point. Just say like something. Because I don't know. Let me just say this. Both sides, Team Green and Team Black, the people on the council that's advising the king, they all trash. They are all trash. You got Team Green with Alicent, Crispy Chick, Aemond, Lannister guy, the Maester guy, and whatever else the other guy is. Okay? The only one that's making somewhat sense, and I still don't like her, is Alicent. Okay? Because Aemond is hot-headed, and Crispy Chick, all he want to do is get to killing people. That's that with that. But then you got on Rhaenyra's side, the only person Rhaenyra only got Auntie Niecy. She only got Rhaenys. These other dudes on her council, oh, well, you done send off your kids. It's probably best that you go too. Rhaenyra was like, that's treason. Y'all sitting up here saying that I should go abandon my throne so that y'all could win my war for me? Do y'all not realize that that's treason? You can't declare war in my name. You can't just do it on your own. I have to be here to don't want to have some say. And they just advising all types of wrong. All they want is bloodshed. So I'm so happy that Rhaenyra took Rhaenys' word and was like, listen, these hot-headed men, they're just hot-headed and they won't remember why in the world the war even started. All they want is war. So you have to keep a sound mind and a sound head. So after Rhaenyra leaves up, she gets up and she walks away. She's like, Rhaenys was like,
I would do well to remember that their queen wears the crown of my grandsire, Jaehaerys the Conciliator, a prudent ruler, the wisest of Targaryen kings whose reign outlasted every other, even Aegon the Conqueror's.
So how do they?
When Auntie Niecy said that, she was like, listen here, y'all are acting too impulsive as if this is your war and your war alone to win. And y'all are pushing her to do something when she knows good and well she's not supposed to do it that way. But you want her to do it your way. Let me tell you something right now. And Rhaenyra said it too. We can't go against dragon. That cannot happen. We can't just put our dragons against our dragons. That's bad. No, we're not doing that. We got to give Daemon just a little bit more time. So we got Aegon going up inside the whole house, like I said earlier. And He going up inside this whole house, and he is like trying to find the one to break the squire cherry or whatever, or break him on in, whatever, right? Oh, but he ends up seeing Aemon with the same madam, and he's just like, oh, here's Aemon the Fierce. He was like, my brother's come such a long way, but you still messing with this one, like really, like, do what you doing. And Aemon stands up and he's like, you know what? You're welcome to her. What's a whore to me anyway? Now, you could see the madam, she's uncomfortable and she's like, why are you treating you can see it in her face. So her face is like, why are you treating your brother this way? And she looking at Aemon like, Aemon, don't fall into it. But when he was like, what's a whore to me? You could tell that hurt her. And I truly don't believe that Aemon meant it, because I think he like, you keep going back to somebody for a reason. You don't just go to them because it's just a convenience. You keep going to them for a reason. He was back up inside there with her in fetal position. In fetal position yet again. So yeah, Aemon probably got some mommy issues, but he do like this particular madam. You know, he likes this madam for whatever reason, but I digress. Okay, so last but not least, we go over to Rhaenyra, and she's asking the White Worm, Mysaria, I think that's her name is, Mysaria, asking her, like, how do I get in somewhere to see Alicent, right? Because I need to talk to her. And the White Worm is like, there's only one place where you'll be able to talk to her. So next we see Rhaenyra. She has on the garbs of one of the sisters of the seven or whatever. She has on her gray garb or whatever, but she has somebody with her, and she goes into the sept or whatever, like, you know, they church or whatever, where Rhaenyra and Alicent went when they were younger, and where they said to pray after, of course, Rhaenyra's mama died. So she sees Alicent. She goes right next to her, lights a candle, and she sits next to her. And Alicent sees a knife, and she was like, shh, shh, don't say nothing. And basically, they get to talking. They like, we got to stop this war. Like, I don't want this. And Alicent like, oh, so you've come to surrender? And she was like, no, I ain't come to surrender. What you mean? Like, y'all took my throne. She was like, your daddy changed his mind. And she was like, just hours before when I saw him, he said in front of all of y'all that I was supposed to be his heir. Like, I'm supposed to be the one that follows behind him. And she was like, he changed his mind. I'm not lying to you. He changed his mind. And she was like, what did he say? Like, what did she say? She was like, she said that Aegon was the prince that was promised. And she was like, hold up, the prince that was promised? You talking about the song Ice and Fire? My daddy told you about that? And she was like, what do you mean? She was like, my daddy told me about the story about the prince that was promised was Aegon the Conqueror. And she was like, and then Alicent realizes in that moment that she got it wrong. Alicent realized in that moment that she wasn't talking about her Aegon. They was talking about Aegon the Conqueror. If y'all could just give these kids some different names. Jason, Jonathan, Frederick, Malfoy, Harry, Larry. Now, why everybody gotta be named Aegon? Damon, Aemon, that's the same damn name. How many Viserys have we had? How many Aegons have we had? How many Daemons have we had? It's too much. It's just too much. Give these people some regular names. James, Charles, Anthony. Can we get some regular names? But because they was talking about Aegon and then Aegon the Conqueror, Alicent realizes that she got it wrong. And she was like, and then when she realizes it, she was like, nothing can be done. And she was like, what do you mean nothing can be done? Something can be done. She was like, it's too late. And then Rhaenyra says, don't let your pride get in the way of this. Like, please. And she was like, nothing can be done. And she gets up and she leaves. And Rhaenyra's just sitting there like, I can't believe this bitch. Like, you not even going to sit up here and just openly admit, oh my God, I got it wrong. He wasn't talking about, you're not even going to apologize. Your pride that strong. Your daughter, Helena, had the nerve, had the most innocent reply to forgive you for bouncing on Mr. Pogo Stick, and you can't let down your pride for a second to apologize and be like, I don't know what to do at this moment because it's out of my control. They're doing what they want to do. My daddy, because she did admit, my daddy ain't in his post no more. He's no longer hand of the king. I don't know what to do anymore. You can't even apologize and just say, I don't know what to do. What should we do? What can we do? You can't even say that you was wrong. Alley Cat, this is all your fault, Alley Cat. And now you really realize it was your fault and your pride is getting in the way because deep down below, you wanted your son to be on the throne. You are a horrible friend. You are a horrible person, Alley Cat. End scene. Y'all, I don't know where it's going to go from here on out. This is just a whole lot of. And I can only hope that it gets better from here. I mean, this is it's going to get worse. And I think I heard someone said that episode 5 is where it gets really like, that's like the big battle or something. Like episode 5 is like supposed to be the episode because it's only going to be 8 episodes a season if I'm not mistaken. Oh, but I digress. Thank you guys so much for watching. Listen here. Song of the Dragon. I said Song of the Dragon. You guys so much for watching.